must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're watching us this afternoon here in Nairobi, about 2 minutes past 3 p.m. This is Diaspora Dispatches. We haven't done this in quite a few days, so we have a lot to catch up with. A lot has been happening in the continent because this is a show where we get to know the latest as regards to the developments across the African continent. And so I thank you so much and a very warm welcome to you. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and we are coming to you all the way from Kenya's capital here in Nairobi. So let's just get into it. And we start with Burkina Faso. And 14 Burkinabe soldiers were killed after suspected militants ambushed them in the northern part of the country. The attack happened in Odulan province near the borders of Mali and Niger, according to the Ministry of Communication. The ministry said on Thursday that forces had been deployed to the area to track down the perpetrators. The attack was carried out on Wednesday. President Roch Kabore has suspended his campaigns for 48 hours in honor of the soldiers who died. Burkina Faso is set to hold presidential elections on the 22nd of November, and President Kabore has promised a peace if re-elected and urged the opposition not to use terrorism as a campaign tool. And then we go to Mali, and French forces have killed Baga Moussa, a senior official of Al-Qaeda's North Africa wing. Armed Forces Minister Florence Parly has said he was one of the main assistants of Ayag al-Ghali, the leader of one of Mali's Islamist groups, Ms. Parly said in a statement. And then we go to Ethiopia, and Ethiopia's Prime Minister has accused forces in the northern Tigray region of carrying out massacre of civilians. Abiy Ahmed said Ethiopia federal troops had liberated the western part of Tigray in a victory for the innocent civilians of Mai Kadra that were brutally massacred. In a separate statement, Mr. Abiy also said bodies of members of the army who were shot while their hands and legs were tied had been found. Tigrayan officials deny the atrocities. Witnesses blames forces loyal to the Tigray People's Liberation Front for Monday's killings, first reported by human rights group Amnesty International. Fighting between government forces and the TPLF broke out last week. We go to Nigeria, and the Human Rights Watch has urged the Nigerian government to unblock the bank accounts of anti-police brutality protesters. The rights watchdog also wants all fines to individuals and organizations related to the anti-police brutality protest dismissed or refunded if already paid. The Human Rights Watch said the actions were a threat to human rights and fundamental freedoms. The rights watchdog also condemned the fining of the media organizations for coverage of the protest. And then we go to Uganda, and Uganda's Daily Monitor newspaper is reporting that the country's national voters register has been sent to the Netherlands for verification. What? Now, the Electoral Commission has contracted a Dutch company to remove multiple registrations in the register ahead of January's elections. The newspaper reports, quoting officials, and this is what they said: "We have started the process of authenticating the voters to ensure that only eligible voters appear on the register and that they will vote once." The Commission spokesperson Paul Bukenya is quoted as saying it's unclear if political parties are made aware of the cleanup. Ugandans will vote for a president and parliamentary representatives on the 14th of January. 11 candidates, including serving incumbent President Yoweri Museveni, will be vying for the top job. We go to South Africa, where a high-ranking official of South Africa's governing African National Congress is due to appear in court later in the city of Bloemfontein. Ace Mogashule is accused of corruption over the awarding of asbestos contracts in 2014 when he was the head of provincial government in Free State. Mr. Mogashule has said he's not worried as he has done nothing wrong. The $16 million contract was issued to private firms for the removal of asbestos from the low-cost homes, but it is alleged that there were kickbacks and suspicious payments. His supporters have gathered outside the magistrate's court ahead of his appearance. And then we go to Ghana, where some sad news that happened yesterday. And Ghana's former president, Chon Rawlings, has died in Accra, and he died Thursday morning, local media there has reported. He is said to have passed on at the nation's premier hospital, the Kolebu, a teaching hospital. Jerry Rawlings had been on admission at the hospital for about a week for undisclosed ailment. Local online news portal Graphic Online reports that Mr. Rawlings fell sick after his mother's burial about 3 weeks ago. As a former Ghanaian military leader and subsequent politician, Rawlings led a military junta from 1981 until 1992. He then served 2 terms as the democratically elected president of Ghana from January 1993 to January 2001. The late former president initially came to power as a flight lieutenant of the Ghana Air Force following a coup in 1979. Before, he led a successful coup attempt against the ruling military government in 1979, just 5 weeks before scheduled democratic elections were due to take place. After initially handing over power to a civilian government, he took back control of the country on December 31st, 1981, as the chairman of the Provisional National Defense Council. In 1992, Rawlings resigned from the military, founded the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and became the first president of the Fourth Republic. He was re-elected in 1996 for 4 more years. Rawlings was 73 at the time of his death. And we pass our condolences to his family and the people of Ghana. And we go to Guinea, and 3 Guinean opposition figures surrendered to the police on Thursday after being put on a wanted list for their alleged role in post-election violence. One of their lawyers have said officers questioned Osman Diallo, Abdoulaye Ba, both members of Guinea's leading opposition party, and Etienne Soropogu. Separately, lawyer Solifu Bavugui has said. Police on Wednesday also arrested UFDG Vice President Ibrahima Cherif Ba as part of a sweep targeting mainly opposition politicians and activists. At a press conference on Thursday, opposition leader Silo Diallo called for their immediate release. The arrest came after President Alpha Conde, 82, won a controversial 3rd term after topping on October 18th poll with 59.5% of the votes. The country slipped into violence in the aftermath of the poll when UFDG leader Selo Diallo, who is 68 years old, proclaimed himself victorious and alleged voter fraud. The government said at least 21 people died in subsequent clashes between the opposition supporters and security forces. The UFDG party put the death toll at 46. And we go to South Sudan, where the United Nations Security Council has called on Sudan and South Sudan to make more progress on border issues as it renews the mandate of the United Nations Interim Security Forces for Abyei UNSFA until 15th May 2021. The 15-member council met yesterday for just 5 minutes and unanimously adopted the resolution. They agreed to keep the authorized troop ceiling of UNIFA at 3,550 and the unauthorized police ceiling at 640 personnel, including 148 individual police officers and 3 formed police units. The Council also maintained for the term of the mandate extension the mission support of the Joint Border Verification and Monitoring Mechanism. The GBVMM watches the South Sudan and Sudan border to ensure progress on border demarcation in several specified areas. And that is the latest from the continent. Thank you so much for watching. I trust you had a wonderful week. I wish you a very good weekend. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Good afternoon.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.